It's up to Labor to explain whether they want women to get superannuation paid when they take paid parental leave. The fate of the legislation is now in Labor's hands.
The Greens holding Labor hostage once again, declaring they will block the government's bill to increase taxes on super balances over $3 million unless Labor agrees to pay superannuation on paid parental leave.
It's becoming increasingly difficult to distinguish, frankly, between the Greens Party and the Liberal Party.
Currently, parents of new children receive 20 weeks paid parental leave, paid at the national minimum wage, but no superannuation entitlement while they're taking care of the bub. The system slammed as unfair to women.
We're putting a very simple proposition on the table to the government. It's do the right thing by women.
And a contributor to inequality. Australia's 19% gender pay gap dwarfed by an almost 50% gap in super savings by retirement. Aussie mums missing out on almost $3 billion in superannuation.
I think that's ridiculous. That's definitely not okay.
Pretty shocking, to be honest.
Oh my God, that's a lot. Yeah, talk about gender disparity, yeah.
Already retiring with over $100,000 less than men, single women over 55 are 8 times more likely to experience homelessness.
If Labor thinks it's okay for women to keep retiring without enough money, then they can explain that.
But the government says it can't afford it.
We've already made it clear for some time that we intend to act on the super guarantee on PPL when budget circumstances permit. The Greens should stop playing their usual political games.
So is it time to level the playing field when it comes to the super pay gap?
I think women work just as hard as men, and just because of our biology, I think we should be able to be taken care of just as much as them.
Sounds fair. Pamela Anderson from Emily's List has long campaigned on this issue. She joins us now. Pamela, why is it so important that new parents get paid super?
Well, it's incredibly important because it is a key component to reducing that gender pay gap that we're all been talking about for such a long time. It is definitely going to be the difference between women retiring well and women retiring in poverty.
Pamela, how parental leave literate do you think Australians are? I know for myself and my partner, we didn't cast our minds to this until we had the kids and we're like, oh no, we don't know how this system works.
It is not something I don't think that even enters people's radars until either they're considering getting pregnant or actually pregnant and then looking to go on to maternity leave. And then the long-term impact isn't even brought into consideration until people are about to retire and they realise that they look at their balances, especially women, look at their balances who've taken that time out of the workforce and realise, hang on a second, I've got so much less than what I was hoping to have.
When you talk about the long-term impact of this imbalance, if people are taking time out of their super in their 20s and 30s when they're having children, what kind of effect is that going to have when they're sort of 65, 70 and trying to access that money?
Well, interestingly enough, the gender pay gap actually increases as we age. So the age group that is most heavily impacted by the gender pay gap in retirement are those aged between 45 and 65. And the difference is up to $40,000 per year. Wow. is the impact in the gender pay gap. And so you imagine what $40,000 a year does in a reduction of income now. It impacts you in retirement.
Pamela, I used to work in superannuation and insurance, so I'm quite passionate about this. There's absolutely no joke there. But Labor says that we can't afford it right now and we should be focusing on paying off almost $1 trillion of debt. How would you respond to that?
Well, look, I think the Labor government has done some really great stuff since they've gotten in. But look, as Emily's List Australia, we want to see these type of policies right now. But I also believe that the Labor government has a true commitment towards making sure that women are front of mind when it comes to these type of policies. And the government has actually already openly said that this is a priority for them and this is something that they definitely want to do. But yeah, we want it now.
Pamela, it's a working story. Thank you very much for your time this evening. Thanks for educating us.
You're welcome. Thank you.